Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you and enjoy the video.
In this video, we'll show you how to replace the driver's side front power window regulator, same as the passengers and same as pretty much any 98 to 02 Accord. The tools you'll need are a flat and Phillips screwdriver, as well as a 10mm socket with a ratchet and extension, or even a 10mm wrench would work. You're going to start by removing this triangle panel by pulling it off. You're going to pull a little pin out here, and then there's two Phillips screws. One you can see right here on your vehicle, it may have a little trim door in front of it, and then the other one you can see down in your armrest or pull handle here. Just use a screwdriver, pry up, and you can see it right in there. So I'm just going to use a little flat blade screwdriver, pull out this pin here. Phillips screwdriver here too. Okay. Oh, I don't want it flying. Keep track of it. Okay, remove this Phillips screw. Now this panel right here, you can just kind of grab this side and pull. Just has a couple clips that go in there. Now you will want to take your switch panel, pull it up, back and out, and then all these connections just have little buttons on there. This blue one, the button is right here. Push the button down, disconnect. Brown one, button's right here, disconnect, and this gray one, the button is right here, disconnect. One thing I forgot here, your door handle, pull it forward and then out, behind, and you can see it, there's a little clip right here. Just take your thumb, pull the clip off, and then the rod pops up and out. Then another little connector here. Okay, and then after that, just take your hand, put it in behind, and there are some clips. Okay. Pull one with your door panel up and off. And now in behind again, this is your courtesy light. Just twist it counterclockwise and pull it out. And then there's another connector here. Push the button, disconnect it, and your door panel's off. Okay, just speed up here. You want to use a 10mm socket and ratchet or wrench to remove a nut, and then a Phillips screwdriver to remove the two screws so that those brackets come off. And then once you have those off, then you're going to want to slowly pull back your water shield. Be careful not to rip it. And now you also want to use this Phillips screwdriver and remove the 4 screws and pull the speaker and let it hang down. Okay, now there are two 10mm bolts that hold the window to the window regulator, and you should be able to see one. It's a little hard to film. Kind of pointing to it inside the door right there. Okay, you can see how down at the bottom you can get to it barely, and then you can get to the other one. It's very hard to see, but if you reach into the speaker hole, you can feel it.
It's kind of deep down in there, but
now the reason I showed them to you like that is because if your window motor dies, you'll need to reach in through that rear hole and that speaker hole, and you have to kind of contort yourself and get those bolts out. time if your regulator is broken, you can actually grab the window by hand and move it up and down. And my regulator is actually fine, so I'm going to raise it up to here. Okay, so you probably see these bolts right here. Now you can see those bolts that hold the window right through those holes right there and right there. So most of the time when your window regulator is broken, you can just move your window up and down by hand to get those bolts in the right place. And now you want to loosen them up. Actually, you want to remove those bolts. And then once you remove them, you can take your window, lift it up by hand, and put it in place. You can see I use a little blues painter's tape to hold the window up, make sure it doesn't slide down. Okay, disconnect my window button again. Right here is your power window lead, and there's a little button right there. Disconnect that. Screwdriver, and pry that, pries away from the door. And there's actually another little clip right here. Push one tooth down, and the other one through. Now to remove the regulator, I want to remove this bolt. Remove these two lower bolts down here. Pull this back, remove this nut here. And then loosen this bolt. Loosen this bolt. And loosen this bolt. You can reach in, pull your regulator up, reach further, pull your motor up and out. Here's my original regulator, new regulator from 1A Auto. You can see they're all the same. Okay, everything's going to bolt in the same. The plugs are the same. The new one from 1A Auto even has this clip here and this clip here. Okay, what you would do if you're going to put a new one in, it has this bolt in it here. Change that bolt over to the new regulator, and then change these two bolts over to the new window motor. Okay, and you would actually want to pull this stud out. This stud is what we took out before. As you saw, the regulator in my vehicle is working fine, so I'm just going to reinstall it to show you. No real reason to put a new regulator into a car that doesn't need it. Okay, so first we'll put the regulator back in. Work it up into place. See, here's our bolt coming through right here, hanging up there on our window motor, our two bolts hang those up.
Okay, and I'm just going to speed up the action here because all I'm doing is putting back in all the bolts for the regulator and then going through and tightening them up. When you tighten them, you don't want to over tighten them. Nice and snug with that 1/4 inch drive wrench is usually what I do.
Okay, now plug in the lead, and since I took it apart this way, my holes are right here. What you would want to do is hook your switch back up and make sure you move the regulator to the point where you can get to these holes easily. Just bracket in here. Hold your window in place. Take the tape off. And slide your window down. Okay, it comes in contact with your regulator. Check in there. Okay. Start one bolt. Start the other bolt.
Okay, just in the interest of keeping this somewhat on the short side, I'll speed up as we put on the water shield and then the 4 screws to, actually I'm sorry, then we put on the brace for the door panel, the one 10mm nut and a couple of Phillips screws, and then we screw on the speaker with those 4 Phillips screws. And after that, we'll actually speed through the door panel as well. If you wanted to see the door panel installation in regular speed, just check out our other videos. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.